Do you actually have to be on cocaine to be on this podcast?
It's a great day to be a Wildcat!
Cocaine.
Durfing.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to yet another edition of Cocaine Willie, the official K-State representative on the College Huddle. I am your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, the good chef Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt Marchesini. Before we dive into the episode, we're going to be doing no dumb questions tonight, but we first want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Auntie May's Parlor. And I don't have a beer tonight, but this proverbial beer crack is brought. Oh, Matt's got one. 3, 2. Oh, sounds so sweet.
Thanks, Logan Hartpants. Thanks, Logan.
That beer crack is brought to you by Annie Mae's Parlor, located at 616 North 12th Street, right in the heart of Aggieville in Manhattan, Kansas. And Annie Mae's, as you know, has been in business for over 50 years running and is an absolute must-visit destination in Aggieville on game days and school nights and fake Patty's days alike. Annie Mae's is far and away our favorite destination in Aggieville, and we always make a point to go visit our auntie every time we come back to the Little Apple. They feature a wide variety of craft cocktails, draft beers, and everything in between, along with entertainment like live music, comedy, and all sorts of other events every single week. This Wednesday, we've got Annie Mae's Trivia Smackdown. On Thursday, we've got Radkey with Headlight Revivals. Friday, we've got Boot Hill Jazz Night with Wabash City Brass. And obviously this weekend is Fake Patty's Day. But next Tuesday, they've got Pie and Cocktails with Therapy. Once again, our friend Therapy. And just be sure to stop by Annie Mae's. And instead of supporting some of those large conglomerate, massive mega corporations that have a monopoly on Aggieville, go to Annie Mae's instead. You won't be disappointed. They make better drinks. They have better beer selection, and the bartenders are very nice there. So support your local Annie Mae's Parlor. That's going to do it. That's it. That's the ad read. All right, guys, no dumb questions. How are we doing tonight? Matt, you got hit by a tornado and a haboob all on the same day.
This day stinks.
I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be around anymore. I think you should leave. Yeah, today, great day in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So been up since about 4:30 this morning. Crazy.
Here to lighten the mood.
And then I had all the windows open after it was such a nice, at noon, it was nice and sunny, had all the windows open, and then the haboob came. So now there's dirt and crap all over my house. It's crazy. This stupid weather. Let's get into some questions.
Well done, Texas weather. Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing great, brothers. Just making it out here, just striving for excellence. I'm ready to answer some questions. Last time the answers started, the questions started flowing in. I wasn't here, to help my boy Scott Wildcat out. I know he was a main factor in these questions right here. So I'm here to answer what the people want to hear.
Here to answer what the people want to hear. And what the people want to hear is starting with @KingJoel3. Give me your thoughts on the current state, very topical, of Fake Patty's Day. Which, Chef, you may not have any commentary on this. I don't know if you've ever experienced Fake Patty's Day.
I see it from afar, but, it's just, kids getting ravenous for all I know. So,
yeah. So apparently, RCPD, I guess, is pulling out of helping manage Fake Patty's Day, which is an interesting situation. I don't really know much other than that. They've been posting all sorts of tweets and skeets and articles and all points bulletins and crap about how they're not going to be managing Fake Patty's Day. And they're like, here's what trespassing is. And here's what a minor in possession is. And it's just like, okay, we get it. You're not helping, but you're also not helping. But I don't know. Fake Patty's Day without police sounds kind of nice, to be honest.
I mean, I think I think they're going to be gigantic pains in the ass as always.
Yeah.
It is incredulous to me how the city and Riley County does not come up with a better solution to Fake Patty's Day by shutting down Aggieville streets and letting college kids have a good time and maybe regulate it a little bit. You know, I think there's a lot of opportunity, you know, for this. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say, oh, I understand what RCPD, like I'm not getting into that. Like, I think at the end of the day, college students are college students. You, as the city and the police department, should find a good way to regulate it, make it, you know, what it is. It's not going away. You know, it's gonna continue to just be out there, and I don't know.
Quick question on Riley County Police Department: are they horse riders during Fake Patty's Day?
I don't even think they have horses.
They've got tanks, but I don't think they have horses.
God damn.
They literally have a tank. But yeah, whole different conversation for a different day. But yeah, I think the simple answer is, yeah, just turn it into a pedestrian mall for a day.
Yeah.
Like every other town, even their towns out in the mountains of Colorado, there are towns in small town Kansas that will shut down their entire main street for a day and allow for things like open container and farmers markets. Like you can have drinks at farmers markets. It's just like, come on, guys. The answer is right in front of you. Don't have a stick up your, you know what, like just don't be a fun hater and just be chill. But yeah, whatever. They're making the situation worse. It's a whole disaster. But shout out to Bob Strawn, the OG Fake Patty's Day shutter downer. I think we can give him credit for the OG, the OG portion of it. Moving on. Next question. Actual K-State related stuff here. From Joe Tillery, friend of the pod. WWE cage match between K-State media. Best heel, fan favorite. Who wins the crowd over among all eligible parties?
Well, I thought about this all day. I was daydreaming about this. There was an elimination cage match in Toronto I think it was this past Saturday. John Cena famously turned heel in this one after 20 years of wrestling. He took out Cody Rhodes, split his head nice and red, gushing blood. And I thought about what the K-State media would look like in an elimination chamber match. I thought it would be kind of cool if, you had not necessarily all Big J journos, but you got like Scott Wildcat. I kind of, associate him with like Kevin Owens, really good on the mic, brazen, kind of an underdog story, if you will. Shout out to our podfather. Derek Young, Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what Derek Young's relationship status is. I don't know if he's dating like a Liv Morgan kind of person, but Dominic Mysterio, hated by everybody, but his core group, everybody loves Dominic Mysterio, and he's a legend. Coming from Rey Mysterio's bloodline, which you can kind of equate to Ohio State. He's coming from that big market brand. John Kurtz, he's the Logan Paul. He's definitely Logan Paul. I mean, he's a big YouTube star. He's in K-State media. He's the shining star. He's got the jawline similar to Logan Paul. That's where I got him. What else? Mason Voth, Randy Ortiz. He was the young kid for Kansas State media for a long time, but now he's kind of that old man, like with disgruntled, kind of got fucked up by Kevin Owens. Everybody loves Randy Ortiz, RKO out of nowhere. That would be great if Mason Voth did that. And then Kellis Robinette, I couldn't really put him down for anybody. There's that, that long-standing controversy that he's like a KU shill. But I got him at CM Punk. He kind of turns heel every once in a while, but everybody loves CM Punk. I don't know if Kellis Robinette sits Indian style on the floor every once in a while, but that's who I got. And I think out of that elimination chamber, I'm missing one because I don't know any other K-State media people that really came to mind. I could have threw us in there. We could have been like a triple team. But I've got to have Mason Voth winning that. He's a legend killer. I mean, he took all the greats out when he was a young pup, and now he's an old man. I think Mason Voth would definitely pull that off.
Kellis for the heel turn. That was spot on.
I
can't speak to any of the rest because
I am just so impressed. I am impressed with the preparation for this answer, because I'm not answering this question other than it was going to be saying John Kurtz versus Bill Snyder in a
man
Hell in a Cell.
You write whatever you want to write. So that's my answer. Shout out to Joe Tillery. I should have put him in there. Why did I not think about that? But I didn't want to make him Logan Paul because he's also a big YouTube star. But if Joe Tillery was in this, which I might think about that later, and I'll message him on X, myself, Twitter, and let him know that he's probably going to be the winner. And matter of fact, he's Cody Rhodes. The slick back, the hair, Cody Rhodes, champion.
I have no idea who these people
Joe Tillery.
Over my head.
I have no idea who these people are.
I hope he liked that answer. I hope he liked it.
Next, we've got our friend Russ. I want Matt to drop his scalp care routine.
I'm not even looking at these questions. It's very funny. Oh, no. My scalp care routine. Well, let's
see that bald head. Whoa!
Looking good.
Look at that beautiful bald head.
I gotta go in the garage tomorrow and shave. So scalp care routine, number 1, still shampoo. Easy peasy. And then when I do shave, I have 4 razors to get the job done. 4 electric razors. That gets it so close. No conditioner. Yeah, I look pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Before electric razors, that's how I shave my face, my head. You gotta have a routine.
Some say Matt is a BBC, bald by choice.
That's certainly a way you could describe that acronym, huh?
No further commentary on that.
Bald by choice.
All righty. Chef, you are bald by choice, but I'm not going to say
I
that
have hair now, but
acronym.
don't look at that hairline. Boy, look at that's tough.
Better than LeBron's. Than LeBron's. At Jeff Burkhart, what gets Tang a passing grade for roster retention heading into next offseason? Which is this offseason? This coming off
passing grade. Are we? I mean, what are we saying? Passing grade is C.
Yeah.
No. As in, what does he have to do? Who does he have to retain? How many guys does he have to retain to get a passing grade?
Okay. Well,
which,
I don't want
to your
minimum,
point, could be a C. I don't know.
I don't want a C. So I think for it to be a successful grade where you're like looking at a B, because if you want to be successful, you're going to need to retain. I mean, I think Doug is obviously first on the list. If you have no Doug next year, that is an F grade no matter what, in my opinion. This season hasn't gone successful, but Doug is going to be a key part of that next year. Think Doug is needed for a passing grade no matter what. Then if everything works out with the NCAA the way people are saying it, Max, I think, would also be a huge retention piece. That really big senior veteran guy that can get a bucket. I mean, he's been playing pretty good over the past few games, even with the losses. And then after that, I think you're looking, because I don't know, Moby with some development, I think can be just, that background bench guy that is energy. I don't think he'll be much more than that. McCaleb, Buddy, are we looking for anything out of that? I don't think that's a retention grade that needs retention to be a passing grade. And after that,
so
Austin.
you're not, yeah.
So I'm going 2 players. 2 players.
You're going 2 players.
I'm going 2 players.
I would add Brendan Howson to the must-have.
But do you think that's a guy that would be leaving? Is that a threat? Is that what? I guess that's really the
I mean, I
question,
think you would assume that anybody is a threat.
Yeah.
You know, if
Good point.
you end the season kind of on a poor note here, I think anybody has the potential to leave. You know, we obviously haven't heard anything about who is leaving or staying, but I think he's a guy that, you know, obviously he's starting. He's shown his offensive prowess. I think he's improved on the defensive end since the beginning of the season. I mean, I think he's a guy that you want to have come back, but you will look at the transfer portal to see if you can get maybe a better two guard to where you could have Hassan maybe come off the bench, you know, still give you 20 or 25 minutes a game, but off the bench. But Doug McDaniel's like your number one priority. If you don't get Doug, it's a fail by all intents and purposes. So yeah.
I agree with you both. Next question from Jeff. How many future pros should Kleiman's roster have at any given moment?
Damn. I mean, that's
2 or 3 per
question.
year, I would say. So per class.
That's so hard to ask.
6 to
I mean,
8.
like,
So I think if you are if your expectation is that you're finishing 8-4 every year, 3 to 4 pro players is going to be what you would expect on the roster. I would probably say that if you want to be in the running for the Big 12 championship every year, I think you need to have more than that. I think you need to have 6 or 7. I look at like this team, like this upcoming season, and who we probably think might go to the NFL. We're not going to have 6 or 7. I'm trying to think of 3 to 4 that are going to be, you know, leaving, but
that's through the roster throughout all classes and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
this is the
at any given
2025
moment.
roster has because think about the 2022 roster. You've got
you gotta
Howard.
separate it though. You gotta separate it though, because with the state of where college football is with the transfer portal, Marquise Siegel wasn't on the roster for a couple years Josh Hayes wasn't always. He was
roster.
I know, but he was only a 1-year guy. So if you would have looked
Correct,
at 20,
but it's at that given moment, right? So it's okay. 2025 roster. How many NFL guys are on the 2025 roster?
yeah,
That's
I
how
get
I'm
that.
reading this question.
I get that, but we're counting freshmen like, oh, they're going to be here until they're seniors, but they might not necessarily be here. So how can we count those freshmen on our NFL draft board if they might not even be here, but they could get drafted from somewhere else? So what I'm saying,
Will Howard is an example of that. Will Howard was on the 2022 team. He's an NFL guy, future NFL guy, more than likely. I don't know. It seems like he might have had some wide receiver drops this past weekend at the combine. But
so
you think about the guys on that team. Benson, Will Howard, Adrian Martinez. He's had a cup of coffee in the NFL. Deuce Vaughn, DJ Giddens. That's 5. Josh Hayes. That's 6. Julius Brents. That's 7.
I mean, all the guys that are getting drafted now are on the roster, except for everybody that's getting drafted. Jacob Parrish was on that roster. DJ Giddens was on that roster.
Yeah,
already named Giddens.
So if you say like an average of like 4, if you have made 16 in a given moment, your average is going to be 8-4, 8-4 to 10-2.
I'd say on the roster as a whole, you can count 6 and then sprinkle in 3 on top of that for the transfer portal kids that are coming in for their junior, senior year. So I would say at a time, 9.
Yeah, my answer was like 2 to 3 per class. So if you multiply that by 4 classes, you know, that's 8 to 10, 8 to 12.
Yeah. I'm going to say 9. 9 is my answer. Final answer.
All right. Answered. Okay, another Jeff Burkhart question. Over under on the 8.5 win total and why?
Early, I'm going to say over. I mean, I think it's
over.
I think it's a talented team, and I don't necessarily believe in a lot of what the Big 12 has this coming year. I said the same thing last year, but Arizona State was a surprise. Can Arizona State replicate it? And I think the schedule for Kansas State is doable. It's very doable.
I think it's doable. It's the away games that tend to kick our ass. So this team's just going to have to prove that they can win on the road. I think that's why, the end of the Utah at Oklahoma State and at Utah is going to be a really tough stretch of 2 road games in a row. But those teams may not be good. Who knows? But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So I'm above the 8.5 because I think they're going to exercise some of the demons on the road. And I think the home schedule is pretty gettable. And we're getting Iowa State in the first game of the year, which I'm going to continue to say is the biggest piece of the puzzle for us. Because that's a team that I think will improve over the rest of the season. So I'm going to say over.
I like that.
Perfect segue. Last time a season opener carried as much weight as Farmageddon in Ireland. I'm going back through and I'm trying to find like the last time we played a Power 5 opponent in a season opener. Any guesses?
Stanford in 2021.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
It was that. But it wasn't number 8 Stanford, which was in 2016. Which we went to.
We did have that game on the road.
That was a McCaffrey game, right?
McCaffrey. I think it was probably the most important game since that one, season opener.
Yeah. And admittingly, like that was 2016.
Yep.
We weren't that game was important because Stanford was good.
Really good, yeah.
But I wouldn't say like we were going into that game thinking, hey, we're gonna like beat this team. I mean, I'm just being completely honest. The other like Power 5 teams we played are like Cal,
UCLA.
that was what UCLA, but that was 2009 and we weren't really, or 2010. That was 2010. We had the Cal game at Arrowhead. We played Iowa at Arrowhead, I think the first game of the year. This is probably the biggest one we've had in a very long time. The 2021 game, the Stanford game at Cowboys Stadium was kind of, it was, again, we were coming off a really terrible year, in 2020, but I think we had some higher expectations in 2021. And we were playing a game in Cowboys Stadium, that was kind of a big thing. But I think it's kind of unfair. I think this game's going to have a lot of eyes on it because it's the first game of the year. Like, I think in the grand scheme of things, I'm not saying this will be like one of the most televised, K-State games ever by any means, but I think this, like the watchability of this game is super high. I think as we get closer, the marketing of this game, I don't know if it's Fox or ESPN, but the marketing of this game is going to be huge. With a rivalry game, I think it's going to get a surprising number of viewers. So I don't know. I think this is like the biggest one maybe we've ever had.
I absolutely agree. I'm going to follow everything that you just said. That's 100% truth. I just, the momentum from this game to get us, for the previous question, the wins to get to 8.5, the plus on that, the over on that is just huge. And I don't know. I feel maybe because I'm just in this K-State bubble, but I feel like our fan base is, constantly talking about this and is, more engaged for this game than maybe Iowa State is. But I don't really fuck with a bunch of Iowa State fans. So
yeah. I think it was the Stanford 2016 game personally, just because I feel like that was kind of a pendulum game for that season in a lot of ways, but also who knows if that team would have even been remotely good if they had won that game. I don't think it makes that much of a difference in retrospect, but none of that really matters. The next questions are from my wife. The first one is, if you had to be haunted by a ghost, and it had to be a K-State athlete, current or an alum, who would you pick and why?
I guess do I want it to be like a Casper kind of ghost? Do I want it to be a friendly ghost? Am I trying to do I want like the total scare factor? Oh, if I'm going like for a friendly ghost, I'm going Curry Sexton. I mean, his face just screams like he's a little jolly man. So I mean, that would be, he kind of reminds me of like Casper the Friendly Ghost. So Curry Sexton for the friendly ghost, and then get back to me on the maybe Travis Britz as a big scary ghost. That would be terrifying. Travis Britz. My God.
K-State athlete, current or alum. You know, I was thinking of RJ Garcia for this because of the videos he would do.
He's just interviewing you.
yeah, he's interviewing me the whole time.
Sleep paralysis, and he's
He's pranking you a lot.
Yeah, I think he'd be pranking a lot, and then some of the comments he would make on those videos were so funny. So I actually might pick him. His 2 years with us.
I'm gonna go with Ernie Barrett because the dude was, may he rest in peace, but he was
and
Mr.
he's actually
K-State.
dead. Yeah,
he was Mr. K-State, and I feel like he'd be a funny guy to have following you around. Maybe pour you a tall one every now and then. Who knows? He was known for enjoying a beverage or two, I believe.
that's a good one.
If you could change the outcome of one game in KSU history, what would it be? Because there are too many to count, but
yeah, I mean, I guess 98 we win the Natty, so I mean that's obvious.
And I think if you win 98, that changes the trajectory of a lot of things for
Maybe
the
Bill's not
program and the conference. Because K-State, I mean, if K-State wins that, they're the only team other than Texas or OU that has a national title in football in the last 30 years.
Realistically, it's
Nebraska, I guess. But
I mean, more modern. I guess you go Baylor 2012. I mean, we're just going to rehash all of our the deepest wounds that we have. But I think 2012 BCS era, they beat Notre Dame, and then that kind of snaps the little streak of SEC dominance. So maybe there's a little, asterisk by the SEC not necessarily being that long run before the playoffs started.
you also might include TCU or Baylor in the CFP that 2014 year too. If the Big 12 has a track record of winning a national title outside of a Texas or OU during that time frame.
Well, so you're just saying all football games, not even necessarily K-State games.
No, I'm saying K-State football games that it could change more than just K-State's history, but
yeah. I think I think it's hard not to pick football here because with basketball, I guess we made it to the national championship game in 1 year, but you're taking a big risk of saying Florida Atlantic or Butler.
Everyone's gonna get steamrolled by UConn in that national championship in basketball, I think.
Oh, basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that team was tough.
I think it'd be the Loyola Chicago.
That would be fun.
That was a kind of a parody year. I mean, the Butler game, you would have played, I think, West Virginia in the Final Four, or Michigan State, one of the two. Anyway, I would probably say 98. I think that's a pretty good one there.
We have a quorum. What's the next question here? If Bill Snyder had a secret life outside of football, what would it be? I think he'd be like a senator.
Yeah, he not like the opposite of Tommy Tuberville, though.
Yeah,
well, maybe. I mean, maybe he's on the same. I don't know. Maybe he's on the same line as Tommy Tuberville. I don't know.
A secret life outside of football.
A secret life. What would actually be funny? If you set Bill Snyder's clock, he wasn't born in 19. What was he born? 40 something in the 40s. If he was born in the 50s. And then, retired not too long ago, and he's only in his 70s, and he's like a DoorDash driver. That would have been hilarious. he's just pulling up after retirement, door dashing food from like Chipotle. That would be kind of fun.
Well, Taco Bell. It would have to.
Oh, TB. Yeah, I guess he's TB.
Taco Bell franchise owner. That would be another option there. Wasn't he also a swimming coach at one point in time at USC? I think he was like a swimming coach or assistant or something when he was at USC. I don't know, swimming coach Bill Snyder. That would have been an interesting situation. Okay, so this one was inspired by when Oklahoma State, I think they killed a longhorn cow and had it on like a fraternity front lawn or something. So if you had to prank an opposing Big 12 team before a game, what would you do?
I would put Coke in all of BYU's water jugs.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That'd
Very
be pretty
much.
good.
Great minds.
Like cocaine or Coca-Cola?
Well, technically, you could do either. Coca-Cola
It's the same sin. It's the same
it's a
sin,
lot
bro.
cheaper.
It's the same sin.
It's the same sin.
Dang, that was gonna be my answer. Damn. What if we did something with like Oklahoma State's program and like put MAGA hats like all over just all over the programs, in locker rooms everywhere. They all wore MAGA hats out to the stadium and stuff. That'd be a good prank. I mean, just on brand for the program. Replace
they would know.
Well, no, I mean, I guess they were like, okay, maybe that was a bad way to say it, but like replace all their team equipment with like MAGA stuff, just straight MAGA tracksuits, and they have to wear them out. They don't have any other replacements. That would be pretty funny.
Okay.
On brand.
All right.
But he did steal my thunder. So yeah.
I would spike something. I would spike all of the KU water jugs with like
laxatives,
Metamucil. Yeah, Metamucil.
Wait, Metamucil. No, you'd want
laxatives.
Is that a laxative? I thought that was a fiber supplement.
Metamucil it is a fibrous thing. It helps regulate your poops. Makes them a little sturdier.
You don't
makes you regular. It doesn't give you
a laxative.
It doesn't clear your bowels.
I don't know. I haven't had to take those, so I don't know. Which Big 12 mascot looks most likely to have been arrested at least once?
Texas Tech's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's just wild. I mean, he's Yosemite Sam. I mean,
Mountaineer.
Carries a weapon. It depends on which one.
Mountaineers get too.
Yeah.
I think the woman Mountaineer is definitely like up for a disorderly conduct. Maybe a domestic violence every once in a while.
Yeah.
She seems like she'll try to hit you, pull a gun on you. I mean, yeah, BYU's mascot, Costco, or is it Costco or
Cosmo? Cosmo's definitely doing something dumb.
Yeah, Cosmo's like jumping off a building. He's like vandalizing something. He's setting something on fire and then jumping through it.
Definitely doing something dumb.
Yeah.
Cosmo, he's a disorderly guy.
Yeah.
He's causing an arson somewhere, starting a forest fire. What is your prediction? So every year the Big 12 tournament has their region-specific or school-specific food item. What is your prediction on the region-specific food items for this year's Big 12 tournament for the 4 newcomers? So Colorado, Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah.
I thought they announced it today.
Did they announce it today?
Yeah, they did announce it today.
I didn't
what's your prediction then if you didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I would say Boulder. I mean, Colorado's Rocky Mountain oyster, like a deep fried Rocky Mountain oyster.
There's no
like
way.
No, I mean, just it's not actually Rocky Mountain oyster.
Not
but
actually,
they just call them that, and it's like it's like a fritter of some sort that you're dipping in like a semen like looking substance. Who's the other newcomers?
Arizona is getting a Sonoran dog.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I had.
Sonoran Dog.
Okay.
And I don't.
You said that was for Arizona or for Arizona State?
I say that for Arizona.
I would say Arizona State is like a flaming hot Cheeto, like taquito kind of thing. Like a not necessarily a walking taco, but it's kind of like a flaming hot walking taco. Like a fiery Sun Devil walking
fry bread taco.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
And then what's the other guy? What's the other one?
Utah.
Spiked
dirty soda float.
Okay.
You know, with
is
the
that
stuff they do in Utah.
Is that a riff at Native Americans or being alcoholics? Oh.
No, they do this. They do like the dirty sodas in Utah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
What the hell?
Were they eating food in
Utah? Yeah, they eat food.
Yeah, they eat food in Utah. What's ooh, they're not in, are they in Salt Lake City? No, that's BYU in it.
Yes, they are.
Oh, they are in Salt Lake City? Oh, they could give them like what's like a giant pretzel with the biggest amount of salt on it ever. Like I call it the Salt Lake City Lick Pretzel or something.
Salt Lick City.
Lick City pretzel.
There we go.
Big brain here.
Hire us, Big 12. Hire us.
I was thinking, well, Colorado's the buffalo, the bison. So I would do like bison, like a bison burger or something like that, smothered in green chili because you like a green chili cheeseburger or something. Because that's a big deal out here too. Utah, their mascot is the Utes, but they have a hawk as their actual physical mascot. So I think it'd do like a chicken item of some sort for Utah because birds.
I never understood why it's a bird.
Hawks. Well, you know, you can't be a Ute on the sideline. That would turn some eyebrows.
I loved the Utes in American Primeval. They were really well represented.
Have not seen that. Arizona, I also had a Sonoran Dog, and ASU, I was thinking like a street taco, but because they're the Sun Devils, like heat, Arizona, like a ghost pepper, some sort of a ghost pepper flavoring on there. But I like the idea of the hot Cheetos, flaming hot, or maybe like a flaming hot Takis, breaded something or other would be a good thing to have there. All right. This one comes from Deb Marchesini. Better uniform, all lavender or lavender top with dark purple shorts.
In basketball. Basketball?
Yeah.
All labs.
Just to be different, I'll do two-tone.
I like the two-tone.
I'll do the two-tone. I mean, realistically, the answer is all lavenders, but I cannot agree with Matt. I'm going to go two-tones. Just, it's such a unique look. Nobody's doing that in college basketball. So shout out to them.
Yeah. The long slew of questions we have here is from Scott Wildcat. Greatest question.
Love you, my boy.
Of all time. First question. Lots of rightful praise being heaped on the Batcats' new uniforms. 2 great vintage-inspired designs. If you were handed the creative direction to create one singular uniform for the sport of your choosing, which sport would it be and what would it look like?
I can start. I got it.
Okay.
I want a basketball uniform that uses the lavender Kansas State, but I want a purple version of that. Dark purple. I honestly wish all of our basketball uniforms just use that. No more K-State. So the retro, but I want white Kansas. No, sorry. I said I want purple, like dark purple Kansas State with Kansas State and white.
Okay. I'm going to create a sport. I'm going wrestling. I'm going to make wrestling singlets for the Kansas State Wildcats. All lavender, and diagonal across is script Wildcats all the way down from hip to shoulder. Script Wildcats with with the Cocaine Willie on the back. Let's go. When you see us pinning, you see
Mm.
Cocaine Willie on there dominating I guess they're Big 12. I don't know what the wrestling conference is called, but yeah.
Big 12.
Shout out to all
Big 12.
lavender with the dark purple and white trim from like, all the way around, all the way down to the bottom.
I got a question after this, but Bob, go.
I like the idea of creating a new sport. I'm going to do hockey. I'm going to do a big Cocaine Willie logo right in the middle. I'm going to do dark purple with lavender trim for the bottom stripe around the bottom of the hockey sweater.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't say K-State on it. It's just got the big Cocaine Willie on it. That's all you need.
Yeah. What's
our
helmets?
On the shoulders, you've got like you could have, I don't know, you could have a Power Cat on one side and like a block K, like I like the block K on the other side.
All right. So you've named 2 new sports. You get the choice to add one sport to our repertoire. What sport are you adding?
Wrestling.
Men's ice hockey.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say ice hockey too.
Yeah. Without question.
Oh, it also on my uniform, it like not necessarily on the butt, but just like on the thigh, it says "Hail Alma Mater." Yeah, that's a nice little touch.
I like that.
Okay.
Nice wrestling singlet. Next one, dude. I don't even know the answer to this. How many grams of protein do you consume on a usual day?
Okay, so it's so weird. It's like Scott knows me for some reason because me and Matt are on our transformation diet. We're trying to get slim and trim for the summer. We're looking good. For me, I like to rock out. Every other day I'm doing a 60-gram protein shake in the morning. I've been also on a kick of doing a half a rotisserie chicken a day. I love a good roto chicken. Shout out to my boy Taisto on my journey with the rotisserie chickens. With some hummus, lots of fruits and vegetables, but just sticking with the. So I would say on a every other day basis, I'm putting away like close to like maybe 180 grams of protein. I mean, a half a rotisserie chicken, a chicken is going to be,
day?
Yeah. I mean, a 60 grams of protein, a whole chicken is probably 200 grams of protein. You would think.
I'm not an expert.
Let me look at that up. Fucking crazy.
I don't even know.
Live,
I have no idea how many grams of protein I consume on a usual day. I had a protein shake for dinner. I think I had 35 grams of protein. I had a salad for lunch with chicken. I mean, I don't know. It's very cyclical for me. And my
79 grams for a half a chicken. So
That's
79 plus 60.
Yeah,
do that math. 139.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, on our transformational journeys, we got to eat as much protein as possible. So
loving it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably in the 75 grams a day range ish. Had 2 chicken thighs for lunch with some hummus and some rice.
What kind of hummus are you doing? I'm doing everything bagel. Everything bagel is my new jam.
I'm a hummus purist, so it's got to be I just like good regular ass hummus.
Yeah, garlic.
And then
I love that.
I had a tortellini soup tonight with some Italian sausage in it. That was probably.
I'm staying away from the pasta. Gotta stay away from the carbs. They're killing me.
Not me. I don't give a shit.
Chef, there's healthy options for pasta, or make your own. Use zucchini pasta.
I love
or just eat a
tortellini squash.
Yeah. Eat a 5-cheese tortellini like I did tonight.
Gotta stay away from that. And when you're getting 12 miles of walking every day, that helps so much. You need the grams of protein.
That's a good point.
Without a doubt. Who is the one player you want to hear all the insiders ranting and raving about during and after spring football practice? I'm gonna go Toby O.
That's
my answer.
Great question, great answer.
Big Toby O guy.
Man.
after spring practice. So we obviously have to know that they're participating in spring because, first came to mind was like Gunnar Maldonado, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to be participating in spring. So what I will go is offensive line, and I'm going to maybe George Fitzpatrick. Maybe George Fitzpatrick. I think
I like it.
That would be really, really important to solidify either one of those tackles. I don't know which tackle he'll be playing, but George Fitzpatrick would be huge.
Yeah.
Is Desmond Purnell back?
Yeah.
God, nobody's talking about that. I feel like he's going to be massive next year.
Yeah.
He's got to play. He's going to play so good.
I'm gonna go with like a wide receiver because in the grand scheme of things, we need to hear something other than Jace Brown. So I'm hoping it's like Duran Bradley or Tibbs. Because we need to hear something positive from that group. They've replaced, you've replaced some guys, and in the grand scheme of things, a wide receiver is going to be really key to step up in the spring. So I'm going to go with Duran Bradley. Yeah.
All right.
Big
All right.
guy.
Good answer.
Good
answer.
This is like a fitness question from Scott. How many days in a row do you think you could do the following? 2 45-minute workouts. 1 must be outside, and 3 hours must separate the two. Drink a gallon of water. Read 10 pages of a self-improvement book. Follow a strict diet, no cheat meals, no booze, and take a progress pic every day. How many days in a row do you think you could do that?
Those all happen in the same day?
Yes.
I don't read, so I listen. I'll listen. I'll listen to a whole self-improvement book in a day. I'm not reading shit. There's no way you're going to catch me reading.
Oh, man.
No way.
I would like do it
So
once.
0, but
I would do it once just to prove a point, but I couldn't do it every day.
If I had
easily
to
do everything on there. Yeah.
If I had to, I could do this for a month and I would hate it. And I would not want to ever do it again.
You're lying.
I would love to do all of those. I would love to do all of those except for the reading part. If he could say I could listen to an hour of self-improvement.
It's 10 pages.
I don't read like that, brother. I don't sit down and read.
I don't either.
You just do 10 pages like before you go to bed.
No.
Instead of playing NCAA Football 25 on your Xbox, you
do be seeing me on there.
You just read 10 pages of a book before you go to bed.
Yeah, give me just if he could modify that to where I can listen to an hour, I would listen to I'd listen to 2 hours of it while I'm walking, and then bang, I got it knocked out. I would do everything on that list except for the sit down and read part because I'm a caveman.
He's a caveman, and a caveman, if you were running the men's basketball team as the general manager, if you, Mr. Caveman, were doing this and had no assurance of NIL budget or transfers incoming, who on the current roster would you retain? We kind of already answered this, but slightly different question, similar answer, I would imagine.
I would do Doug, Max, Hawson.
Bayfall. I would keep Bayfall.
You'd keep Bayfall.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think about it. Like, turnover is not great. Like it's and having some continuity, having somebody who's been practicing, understands the system. Like, they're not starting from scratch when you're bringing.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a power outage. That is a power outage. 100,000%. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this rolling. I would absolutely also retain Moby in addition to everybody that's already been mentioned. I think you need Moby to be kind of that energy guy that he has been this year, and got to keep him around. He's got 3 years of eligibility or 2 at least? Yeah. He's got at least 2.
I think 3 because he was a JUCO guy as well. Yeah. So if that JUCO ruling comes down,
yeah, I think he's got 3.
My power went out.
I think he's got 3. Jeez, well, we'll keep it rolling either way.
Keep it rolling.
If you he's the one that can answer this next question. So I'm going to put a pin in that and then move on. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't even notice that they're playing, and 10 being you live and die with every pitch, how invested are you in the Batcats pre-April?
A 2. I look for the score.
Same.
But I haven't, when it gets to the dog days, then I'll start. I haven't really thought about baseball. I haven't even really looked into the Royals. And if I'm not looking at the Royals, I'm definitely not looking at the Batcats. But they are doing really good. I love seeing that, like, they're getting Big 12 honors. They're beating really good teams. Yeah. I love seeing that, but I just haven't really invested my time into that. Kind of sports depressed, because if the dominoes would have fell, that basketball would have been somewhat decent, I would have had all the time in the world to freaking think about Batcats, because I'm still looking at K-State sports. I'm on the boards more, doing all that stuff. So I'm gonna give it a 2, just because I'll look for the score, but I'm not getting involved in that.
No, it takes those first couple of big wins, and those just happen to happen in February this year, as opposed to April or May. So I'm more like a 5 now. Like, I was watching the StatCast of the LSU game. I'll try to catch some of the games that are upcoming if I can, but it's also been like 60 plus degrees here the last 2 weekends. So I've not been watching baseball on my phone or on my TV, because I've been out doing shit. And enjoying the good weather. So, I'll probably be watching for some of these bigger matchups when they do occur. But I'm not going to pay attention to, okay, K-State's playing the Oklahoma School for the Deaf or something. Like, I'm not going to pay attention to that game. I'll catch the score. Like, same thing with the Sam Houston game. I caught the score after, whatever. Good question, though. What is your all-time favorite album? Because Scott is not a music guy and he doesn't care, but this is a question that he gets asked during the get to know you / first date phase, and he needs a backup to Songs About Jane, which is the only answer he ever uses. Shout out to Marie.
I probably would say, like, a rap album, I'm going like Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Olivia Rodrigo's album was really, really good. What was that one called? Damn, hold on. My bad. Oh, he's back, boy.
We saw it happen. It was clear it was a power outage because your lights went out before you did.
We're back.
Sour album, by the way, by Olivia Rodrigo. Really, really good. Loved listening to that album.
Well, you've given 2 answers now. So for one favorite album.
Sorry,
Matt, what is your
Scott's
favorite
Songs
album?
About Jane, Maroon 5?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is a top 5 album for me. That's so funny. I was gonna say Tears for Fears songs in the new chair. Big chair. I'm gonna also give a number 2, and I'll say Phil Collins. What the hell? Now I gotta make sure I got the right one here. Now I'm like on my iTunes, not iTunes. Apple Music. I know you all use Spotify.
I'm a Spotify guy myself.
Big fat losers.
Hey,
Phil Collins. Face Value.
There we go.
Scott, Songs About Jane. I'm dying. That is a top 5 for me.
I can't even narrow this down to one, but I will give one that I think is a great answer, and we've been listening to it a lot lately. But Rumors by Fleetwood Mac is a killer album. Yeah. My all-time personal favorite would probably be the greatest hits of the Eagles. I fucking love the Eagles.
It's such an old man group.
If we want to go rap albums, I could go rap albums, but we're not doing that. Among current K-State head coaches in any sport, who would have the most success if they had to translate that coaching ability to a different sport? And you can't say men's and women's basketball. Like, you can't say Jeff Mittie in a men's team,
Right.
or Tang on a women's team.
Oh, I'd say Kleiman, because he's not necessarily the biggest X and O guy already. So I think he's a little bit more of a motivator kind of guy. He knows how to use timeouts. So I'm going to go Kleiman to basketball, and, just more of that physical Bruce Weber style. Why not? Just play hard chart. He'll bring it back. Why not?
I'm thinking about all of our sports.
What's the guy for volleyball? I'm sure he can recruit. So
Mansfield,
maybe him to basketball.
And him to basketball. What about oh man. Why can I only think of only a few of our sports right now? Baseball. What can Pete Hughes do?
Ooh. Pete Hughes could probably coach some football. He's
You know what? Jerome
New Jersey guy.
Jerome Tang can coach up the Batcats. Crazy Faith.
Yeah, okay, I can see
There's
that.
There's
no coaching really. I mean,
there's no timeouts really. There's all about recruiting.
Imagine what like coaches. I mean, you don't really see it a lot in college baseball, like them getting in the umpires' faces and stuff like that. But imagine letting those coaches finally let some anger out on some. Well, I guess football officials are just always getting berated.
So here is the correct answer.
Okay.
Here's the correct answer. Jeff Mittie, baseball.
Whoa.
He played for the Missouri Western Griffins. Former baseball guy, Jeff Mittie.
Would
Shout
they
out
take
to
that on a
Manhattan Hill.
potato?
What?
I said, would they take that on a potato?
Yeah, just about. Just about. Favorite stand-up comedian of all-time favorite special. What is it and where can it be watched?
My favorite stand-up comedian of all time, probably Aziz Ansari.
Ooh.
He's fucking hilarious. I pull an Aziz Ansari joke out like every other day. I couldn't tell you what the specials names are, but he was on a run that was crazy. I loved his stand-up specials. I guess I'll look it up
too.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm gonna go with Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham. Some of Bo Burnham's old stuff, which is wildly inappropriate, was so funny. Like when I was in college, but his special during COVID was incredible. It's on Netflix. It was really, really good. So I've always been a big fan of his.
Intimate Moments for a Sensual Evening by Aziz Ansari. That's a great comedy album. Great comedy album.
I am a big Jerry Seinfeld fan, and I think his most recent special was in 2020. I haven't watched it, at least recently, but I also like Pete Holmes a lot. Pete Holmes had a pretty funny series on HBO Max that was solid. I think called Crashing, which is pretty good. His very funny show. I won't spoil anything, but he's got a couple comedy specials also, I think, on HBO Max. So would check him out there, and is on more the cleaner comedy route of things. So
for sure,
no, I'm good. That's why I don't like Nate Bargatze. He's too clean. I can't stand that dad comedy.
That's married couple.
I can't stand
comedy
that.
right
For those
there.
of us who have children who can absorb words and repeat them now, definitely need to watch clean.
Bob, I kind of pegged you for a Dimitri Martin kind of guy.
Yo.
Not really, no.
Pictures
Is he the
and
puppet guy?
no, that's Jeff Dunham.
Well, Zach Gal. No, there's another one that he's a ventriloquist that does.
No, Dimitri Martin's the one that did with the drawings and the charts on the stage.
Oh, you know who I also really like, and it was escaping me, but great comedy specials. Gerard Carmichael.
Yep,
Love Gerard Carmichael.
he got a little introspective towards the end, but I can rock with him. Zach Galifianakis also had one of the best stand-up specials of all time. I can't remember. He's like in some purple in front of a piano, some purple place. I don't remember, but Zach Galifianakis
had kind of
one
the
of the
grand
best jokes
finale ending and everything.
Zach Galifianakis,
Was he
great.
dressed up like Little Orphan Annie too? I think. Pretty good stuff. Would you rather have a bizarro world where K-State goes 1-2 in the non-con, 6-3 in conference play, gets into the conference championship game on tiebreaker madness, and wins the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship but misses the CFP, or a 10-2 regular season where you lose tiebreaker madness but you get the 12 seed in the CFP? I'm taking CFP personally.
Does the world want a Big 12 champion that is 7-5?
12 is 12 and the 12 seed versus the 5 seed. I mean, we're going to get absolutely smashed in the first round of the college football playoffs. So give me the Big 12. Give me the hardware. Give me the hardware. They already poo-poo on the Big 12 anyway. So, I mean, whether we're good or not, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, give me the hardware underdog story. It'd be really, really funny to, tell your kids about later. 7-5 Big 12 North champions. Basically, that's basically what you're getting.
I'll take the Big 12, actually. You know what? F it. Why not?
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, that college football playoff against a 5 seed Alabama, and we lose 48-23. Fuck it.
Fair enough. If you could have any animal in the world that is domesticated at the level of the average rescue dog, what animal would you choose to have as a pet?
The average size of a rescue dog, right? Is that what they mean?
No, domesticated to the degree of your average rescue
like a dog. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, give me one of those baby cows, like a miniature cow that doesn't grow, that be jumping around. They have the long tails and the really wet noses. Oh, man. I love a good baby cow.
Chef
with the little
for dinner.
With the real fluffy, like the real, I don't know, like a mop haircut and they're covering their eyes. They look so goofy.
I did see on TikTok the other day somebody who had a pet raccoon.
You just be cooning around.
I don't know.
Do you want that?
They have thumbs, so I would say I like it.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I am going with a fox because foxes are very similar. They're in the same genus as dogs, I believe.
That's cheating. You're picking a dog.
They are a dog.
Yeah.
Basically a dog, but they're not domesticated outside of Russia, and Russia's a strange place.
I'm going to pick a wolf.
Then you turn it into a pug.
It's just a dog.
A fox is also just a dog.
No, it's not.
It's like a dog-cat mix.
You just said it's in the same genus.
It's like a dog-cat mix. Yeah, genus. Show me your genus. Most overrated K-State varsity athlete of all time.
Oh, God. This is going to hurt some feelings.
Wally Judge.
Wow. Shit. Wally Judge? Seriously?
4-star athlete. Bryce Brown.
Bryce Brown. That is the answer.
I'm going to say something. He wasn't overrated in the sense that he had a real high star rating, but they gave him a lot of credit for, let's be serious. I mean, he had one good game versus Myles Garrett, and that's Scott France. He was an all right offensive lineman.
Yeah, that's
just
interesting.
All right. He had one good game as a freshman, and that rode him until freaking,
I
don't know.
Matt Boss was another guy who's like one of the highest rated recruits we had ever had until Lincoln Cure and Avery Johnson.
Did he play, though?
I don't know if he ever played. Bryce Brown played 11 yards. Most underrated K-State varsity athlete of all time.
Will Spradling.
Peyton Williams.
I mean, you could put DJ up there, right? He was a 0-star guy.
There. Yeah.
I mean,
David Gasson, who expected
underrated.
anything. Who
he's
expected
gonna
this?
be somebody we're gonna talk about in like 5 years.
We're
Of
gonna
like,
miss it. We're gonna miss that boy.
yeah.
But I'm going Will Sprad dropping Joel Embiid.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. I'm good.
I went Peyton Williams because
Yeah.
she doesn't get talked about enough. I don't think dual sport athlete
Dog.
was
That's
was
right.
very
Dog.
very very good at both. So I think she's a good answer. K-State player from a past era you'd like to see in this era. Doesn't specify which sport, so take your pick.
Past era. My God. I mean, Bish would be fun. Bishop would be fun. Of the different
Yeah.
era.
He would be very interesting to see in this kind of type of situation, because you think about it, like offenses in 1998, they were not even suited to what it is now. Like you could put him in a couple different types of offenses and he would have been really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, Ronaldo Blackman would be fun, just like if he actually got into a weight program and,
I was going to say Mitch Richmond.
Mitch Richmond would be crazy too.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
crazy. That would
Pretty
be
easy answer here, but Michael Beasley in this era of K-State basketball, or this era of basketball in general, I feel like his position's kind of translated to this era of basketball relatively well, whereas maybe some others haven't. But
yeah, but I think, no offense to Michael Beasley, but like he kind of took advantage of what like the person that had to guard him was. So like
Fair.
in his era, the five that would try to guard him had no shot, but like the fives now kind of play exactly like how Michael Beasley, inside out kind of offense. I mean, the thing with like Bishop, he would actually have an offense that's conducive to his skill set. So I don't know. I see what Michael Beasley would, with the way the game is played now, the rules, he'd probably average 35. I mean, in all honesty.
Yeah.
What was he at the free throw line? Was he a 70 guy?
I don't
70%er?
know.
Let me look it
I
up.
don't know.
Michael Bishop.
Probably
No.
Beasley.
Michael
You need to type
Beasley.
in the right name.
Beasley. K-Stater.
what if we
Hey.
put someone like Coleman, because this era, what if we put someone like Coleman on one of those 50s or 60s? Final
That
Four teams?
was going to be my one for the next one. You ruined it.
That the next question is K-State player from K-State player from this era that you'd like to see or read stories of if placed in a past era.
100%. I was 100% saying Coleman Hawkins. Like it wasn't even a question. Like because his skill set, his skill set would be very rare back then.
Yeah.
They would see a
bumping up
6'10"
against Joe Schmo from
A 6'10" guy who
Yeah, a 6'10" guy, they would freak out and think he was an alien anyway. So
a 6'10" guy with that type of vision who back then is not taking threes at all. Like
no, it'd be like the 60s is when Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing, and he at the time was a one of one.
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain, same thing. I mean, you get a guy of that size back then, it's going to be
I'm going to say put Mike McCoy on a 50s football team. First of all, he'd run for 10,000 yards in college. Second of all, they wouldn't have the medical science to find out that he actually had a neck injury. He'd play for 15 years and probably have I don't know, scoliosis by the end of it, but whatever.
Hey, welcome to the club, Mike McCoy, Scoliosis Club.
Tell me if you can get scoliosis, but whatever.
No, I have it though. Scott's final question is more of a statement, but says, "Tell me I'm the best question asker of all time." I called him that off the top, but feel free to give him your flowers here.
He's goated. I mean, it's goated. I tried to hang with him, but I just can't. I can't. Now that I have ChatGPT, maybe I can keep up. But I mean, obviously, the questions are going to look very AI-ish. So
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
there's no keeping up with Scott. He's the goat of all goats, and he's our pod father for a reason.
Yep.
He is the podfather. We are in the home stretch of questions. Shout out to Annie Mae's Parlor for this next question. Blake Huckabee asks, what is your personal worst and best bar in Aggieville? The best one is obviously Annie Mae's. The worst one, in my opinion, is Johnny Cause. I'm going to say it.
The Tubbies.
Wow.
I didn't have
go-
fun. I didn't have fun at Tubby's either when I went the last time I was there. So I'm going to say that one as well. I don't really have any shots to throw at anybody. I'm
And
not there enough.
then just from my college days, Cat House.
I love that. I love that.
Michael
And Annie
Beasley
Mae-
was 77% from the free throw line, by the way.
And Annie Mae's is number one, but a close second is Mojo's.
Yes.
Especially at homecoming,
Absolutely.
and Celine Dion is playing.
That bastard
was-
averaged 26 and 12. What the fuck?
Matt, what was the name of the place? So when I was there, was Dancing Ganesha was an Indian restaurant and bar, but it had it was like a bar with a hot tub before that at one point. I
Well,
believe.
the Ale House, there was Chuggers. that thing has been a lot of things.
It's changed hand a number of times.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, would not
Would never be a
recommend
bar owner in Aggieville.
No. Alison Renner, friend of the show, has 3 or 4 questions here. What is the perfect breakfast plate with 3 items or less? And I'm thinking items in this case, not like ingredients. So a bacon, egg, and cheese, that's like a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel is 1 item.
Okay.
Say the question again.
What's the perfect breakfast plate with 3 items or less?
I'm going, if I'm undieting, obviously, because I
Yep.
want to actually a good food, I'm going grits, 3 over easy eggs, and Texas toast with fuck tons of butter and jelly on it.
What the hell?
Interesting. I am a big fan of, they're not a sponsor, but the Chef in Manhattan. My favorite menu item at the Chef is what I think is one of the best breakfast things ever, which is the Grant.
The Grant.
It's biscuits and gravy.
That's
with
2.
bacon.
That's 3.
And they add fried egg, but
Can't
I'm
have
not
it.
adding the fried egg in this case because biscuits and gravy. Or I remove the bacon and do a fried egg.
I
Wait,
think that's where
I
you
think
need to
that's
go.
completely unfair. If
Why?
we are going to call
Biscuits,
bacon,
gravy.
egg, and cheese as one item, biscuits and gravy is 1 item.
Okay, that's fair.
Oh, I like that. I like that take.
Because
I'm
I
in
would,
agreement.
I will do biscuits and gravy with, candied bacon
Ooh.
and
You're a sweet and savory guy.
and a fruit plate.
Lame. You were on such a good roll.
I'm not
My
a big
God.
I'm not a big egg guy. I'm not a big egg guy.
You're not a
big egg
cheese guy either.
I'm not a cheese guy either.
Not a cheese guy.
I would consider
No.
scrambled eggs. I would consider it, but I do like at the end of the meal having just something a little sweet, some strawberries, a little melon, maybe pineapple.
Maybe actually I'll
situation.
I'll keep my Texas toast, but I'm gonna make it cinnamon sugar toast.
Mm, Yeah.
That's perfect.
yeah.
Interesting.
It was so
Interesting.
Oh my God, so good.
Uh,
My stomach
Okay.
was growling.
Which one of you could bench or squat the weight of another host?
I could
Well,
easily get Joey. I could
Yeah.
get Joey on.
He's done so.
I could get him on easy.
He is screwed.
I could get Bob up, no problem.
Yeah, that's
That's
I'm
not
not
crazy.
squatting.
benching. I'm not benching
Yeah.
any of that. I
That's
can
pretty
squat
easy.
upwards of 300, but that's
I could
that's
get
the
Matt.
squatting.
I could get Matt on a bench probably.
Now.
What are you like 215.
215.
Yeah, I could probably get you up like maybe right now, probably like 6 times, maybe.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
But
good for
I'd rack Bobby just.
yeah,
That didn't look right, but
those bird legs.
Oh,
The last one from Allison. At the age of 7, what did each of you want to be when you grew up?
this is a really good question because
Mine was definitely not selling software. I can tell you that much.
What did
I
want to
wanted
be?
I wanted to be a chef, but I don't remember it being at 7. 7, I probably wanted to be like a bird or like a dog. I was an idiot.
I want to be a bird.
I didn't know what a job was. I probably was so stupid.
I don't know.
My first real job that I wanted to cook for people, which was, funny and ironic. But yeah, at 7, I didn't want to do anything but like be a feral animal. I probably wanted to be Matt's. I wanted probably to be Matt's raccoon or something.
Oh wow. I don't remember what I want to be at 7. Maybe like a pilot. No, maybe a weatherman.
Maybe a pirate.
Ooh.
No, a pilot, not a pirate. I want to be LimeWire,
That's
Frostwire. Pirate.
Yeah.
When I was 7,
Napster.
I was obsessed with when we would get like severe weather notifications, and I would sit there and watch and look at the maps and go outside and look at the cloud formations and stuff. But I wasn't going to go to fucking Oklahoma University to be a meteorologist, and I sure as shit was not taking a math class more advanced than college stats. So I went the journalism route instead, and here we are today doing a podcast and getting paid a small amount of money to do it every month. Chase Harlow is the next question. What non-con team do you wish they would schedule for football? We've had this question a few times, but curious if answers have changed.
Nebraska.
North Dakota State. I'm just kidding. I'd like LSU would be fun. A home and home with LSU.
LSU would be fun.
Would be fun. But we've played them in a bowl game recently, it did look good. I liked how it looked. It also would be fun? Coastal Carolina. That would be super fun to go to Myrtle and play on that blue turf. That would be. We'd look crazy out there. We'd look crazy.
Yeah, and we'd need some 90-yard fumble recovery to take the lead late in the fourth quarter to win.
Hey, but it would be on that teal turf. It would look nuts.
I'm saying Nebraska. I'd love to play them again up in Lincoln and then get them back. Or Penn State.
I got a feeling we're going to get Nebraska in a bowl game this year.
Are you saying Dylan Raiola is going to take him to a conference title game?
I think they'll be 9-4 this year.
Okay.
So you're saying that we're not going to be making the college football playoff this year?
I don't know. I mean, the odds are not in our favor. I mean,
I
guess they kind of are because we are picked first in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say.
So maybe I don't know. If we have a disappointing season, I'll say this: we'll play Nebraska. I got a feeling.
Okay.
If we have a disappointing season.
My non-con team for football, this answer's usually been Wisconsin. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say Monty Putnam Bowl, Cats in South Carolina. Make him choose.
Ew. I haven't thought of that guy in
Me either. It just popped in my head because I'm a sicko.
Yuck.
Jess Rutledge asks, if Kleiman retired today, who would be the next head coach? Who would you like to see? And would it be someone who currently or previously let me rephrase this. Who would it be if it could not be someone currently or previously on staff? So this eliminates a large swath of individuals. So give your answer on who you would like it to be, and then give your answer on who you would like it to be if it can't be anyone who has any remote connection to ever being on staff.
Interesting.
I guess Colin. Just
He's been on, but he's
no, but he
previously-
said who would we want it to be, and then we go off staff.
If Chris Kleiman literally retired today, I think they're putting Matt Wells in as the interim.
Yeah, I think that's
Like-
what they would do.
Like literally
what do
today.
you want though?
If it was somebody not currently or previously on staff.
Well, he said, "What do you want first, and then you
Oh.
can go off the staff."
I mean, I think Klein is definitely the guy that you would want to bring in. Currently or previously on staff.
Without currently being on staff is crazy. Oh my god. I guess I'd want him to have head coaching experience. So could we? I guess I could just say anybody, and we could poach anybody.
You know what? I have one.
Who?
I would go with Will Stein, who's the offensive coordinator at Oregon.
Hmm.
And I think my reasoning for this is you go the Kenny Dillingham route. He's like 35 years old. Yeah, he's young. He's run the Oregon offense 2 years. So he had the Bo Nix year and he had Dylan Gabriel year. They had great offense, during that time. So I think you want an offensive guy who's going to get Avery going. And I think you try and replicate that a little bit, what Kenny Dillingham's done with Arizona, and go young. Yeah.
No, I don't know who I would go. I honestly don't. I mean, do you want him to have regional ties here? I'm trying to think of somebody that's like a Kansas City guy that is doing good things.
Willie Fritz?
No. No. He's
No?
old
Well
as
respected coach. Wow. That's Willie Fritz
fuck. He's
slander.
old.
He is old.
He is.
old.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I like the idea of hiring someone younger. I really do. I just don't know who that would be.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about up and coming
Give me-
assistants on other teams.
Give me Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame.
Okay, so if we had unlimited resources,
So I thought it was just who we wanted. I didn't know if it was necessarily a realistic.
I
We
honestly,
we could have anyone we wanted, and it's if Kleiman retired today, if it's someone who currently or previously has been on staff, give me Raheem Morris or Colin Klein. I like both of those guys. If you could steal him from the Falcons somehow.
if I win the Powerball $900 million, I'm endowing a head coaching salary. I probably would put Marcus Freeman at number 1 on the list. I probably would. Out of everybody.
You know who doesn't have a job right now? Nick Saban. Bring him home.
Yeah, why not?
He's old.
He is old. He is old as shit. The coach from Northern Illinois would be cool too. Have
I
a
don't
know who
black,
that is.
black coach.
Thomas Haddock.
Hammock.
Hammock.
Yeah.
Thomas
Crying on
Hammock.
the sidelines after a big dub. Yeah, let's go.
Nice. All right, last 2 questions. We're almost there, boys. Will Dubois, what is the dumbest question you've ever been asked? That one.
No, not that one. I had a person ask me, and I tweeted about this, and it wasn't a tweet for anybody. It was just a tweet out into the void because I was frustrated. I had a person ask me on my route why I keep delivering this person's mail to them. And it literally says on there that the name on there was current resident. And they just couldn't wrap their head around that they are current resident. And it frustrated me to all ends. They thought current resident was somebody else's name.
Wow.
That was a pretty dumb question. And I just, I had to explain to him, you are him. That's you. You are current resident. That's your name. That's your name now. So
Oh,
that was a
man.
pretty dumb one. It was one of my all-time dumbers.
I mean, I've been asked, what seat are you in on an airplane by a passenger before? And all they have to do is just look up at the overhead bin.
Maybe they just assume that you weren't in the right one.
I mean, I'm always in
What
the right
seat
seat. What seat are you in? What does it look like? Look.
Look at it. Look at it.
So I was having a conversation with someone in the last few months who didn't really understand the concept of where Canada was located geographically and that it's north of the United
Oh,
States.
no.
And this individual asked where the California or Florida of Canada was. And in my head, I'm like, well, there's nowhere really warmer than 60 or 70 degrees on average, but I don't know, Nova Scotia. I don't know. Vancouver is wet and cold and disgusting. Like everywhere in Canada is very cold. So that was just a funny situation. Last question, boys. PC Riley. Kirkland makes beer. Quick Trip makes beer. What brand that currently doesn't have one needs to release its own beer? Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's doesn't make their own beer. They have
Buc-ee's
everything.
doesn't make their own beer.
They don't make their own beer.
So it has to be a gas station.
No.
Kirkland is from Costco.
Costco is everything.
I'd say Gatorade.
Ooh, an electrolyte infused beer?
Yeah, give me a
That's
Gatorade.
brilliant.
Beer. Like a sour, like a sour from Gatorade. The sour Gatorade beer.
Ooh, I like this.
That's pretty good. What would a Fireball beer taste like?
Oh yeah, a Fireball beer. I mean, you could probably just put a Fireball in like a Bud Light and just
cinnamon ale.
Also, Matt, you should tell Logan if he's listening to this, you should make a Gatorade sour.
A Gatorade sour. I'm gonna see.
If he makes a Gatorade sour, can he use the cucumber lime one, please? That's my favorite flavor.
Oh, that would be pretty damn good, I think, honestly.
A cucumber lime sour Gatorade beer.
That'd be so refreshing.
Interesting.
That'd hit like crack.
Any other final words, gentlemen?
I wouldn't know.
Dude, this was a good one. These were some really good questions.
Great questions.
Ponder. Great questions. It's really all about the question asks. You know, the people that ask the questions are really the MVPs. We just rant and rave on here.
Couldn't do it without you. Shout out to the Cokeheads. That's going to do it for us today. Once again, shout out to our sponsor, Annie Mae's Parlor. Visit www.antimaze.com for a full list of their upcoming events. And if you're stopping by Annie Mae's on Fake Patty's Day, game day, school night, whenever, be sure to tell them Cocaine Willie sent you. Additionally, we are the K-State representative on the College Huddle, which is the largest community of fan-driven content in the nation. Check them out at thecollegehuddle.com and follow them on social media at College Huddle. Last but not least, you can follow our show at Cocaine Willie on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, or Instagram, or follow us individually. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Chef is at Chef Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt is at Matt Marchesini. Chef.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
We are all Coke and no joke. Wildcat Country.
Let's ride.